Okay, this is the analysis of the AlphaStar versus Liquid MaNa. These are hot. That's hot.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Okay, so first thing we see is the AI is... oh, never mind, he is. Wait, is he? No, he's not. Okay, the AI is not stacking probes. Instead, he's just rallying them to the mineral patches where you're supposed to stack. So for those who don't know, you're supposed to stack your workers on the closest mineral patches. And a lot of pro players are purposely like moving probes to stack them. But instead, the AI just chooses to just rally them whenever they're ready. So the AI uses the chrono boost at pretty normal time. The gas is a little delayed. Like, the gas should already been started. It's late, like 70 minerals late. But again, this AI shouldn't be making mistakes. Okay, rallies the probe there. We'll see if it's gonna chrono again. Yeah. Alright, that's what I do as well. So I'm playing perfectly so far. Why am I not beating MaNa 5-0? Playing exactly like the AI. So the AI scouts a little bit. Now, one thing I want to say. The AI, the games he played against MaNa were good, right? The micro was good, engagements were good, but there's obvious flaw in the AI, which, you know, it scouts here, right? But what if you make a gateway here? What is he going to do, right? That's something we haven't seen. And that's something that I'm not sure why MaNa and TLO tried this. Or why they didn't show the games in where that happened. Because I would be very curious. Also, 10 PvPs and no cannon rush? I want to see how the AI deals with cannon rush. And cannon rush, I feel, is one of the things that the AI would actually lose to. Because cannon rush is... I know a lot of people see it as like, oh, you just place cannons, lol. But there's a lot of placement and there's a lot of in-the-moment things, right? If you mess up, you're kind of in a lot of trouble in PvP against cannons. So that's something that I wish they did instead of literally no one trying the cannons. Okay, so another thing we see is the AI is pulling the probes now, which it didn't do against TLO. It pulled from the minerals, but now it's pulling from the gas to build buildings, which is what you should do. And interesting enough, this is something I've noticed. The AI goes to 17 probes in the minerals. And this is something the AI did all 5 games, I think, against MaNa. Why exactly 17? Again, you know, after the AI doing so many games and practice so many games, that seems like an odd number to stay at. Why 17? You could argue that 17th is if it wants to make something, but it's pulling probes from the gas to do so. Maybe it's because... Oh, you know why maybe? If you get harassed by opponent's probe, so you can pull one probe from the mineral line and not lose the mineral income. That actually makes sense. See? Now it's back to 18. And this is another thing that I've noticed that the AI kept doing, which was it kept putting 2 probes on gas and then 3 probes on the other gas. So, now, this is a thing that I thought about. Why does it do it? Why only 5, right? So... It makes sense if you're going for fast expand. Maybe if he's on 2 gates, right? He doesn't need 6 on gas each unless he plans to tech fast. Which in most of the games, the AI did not tech fast. He kind of kept just making stalkers. But this game, he went for proxy 4 gate. Now, what I find it interesting in when you're doing 4 gate, or not proxy 4 gate, but 4 gate with proxy pylon and gateway. What I find interesting is he now puts 3 probes on gas on this one as well. So he wanted to get up to 20 probes first before doing anything else. And this is what I was talking about. Look at this. So MaNa is getting 900 minerals, right? On average, this is a minute. And the AI is getting 1,063. And that's a huge ass difference, especially in a mirror matchup. Like, that's a huge ass difference. By the way, if you're wondering where does that extra mineral come from, are you supposed to have only 16? That's what we all thought. And this, again, might be something that will change in the future. The faraway minerals. So if you look at it right here, the faraway minerals being these ones, unless you have 3 probes, you're not constantly mining them.
Like, I just couldn't see half the red dots on the map. I see no red dot. There's no red dot. There's actually no red fucking dot.
I just arrived, been depressed and been missing streams.
See that?
Me. However, I do have one important message for BC Boy, Tigbitties.
See? Look at this. This probe is already done. And the other one is not there yet. So it's basically the extra probes are covering whatever small little differences in mining you're going to have. Because right here, once this probe gets all the way here, this one that just finished mining, if you didn't have the third one, this mineral patch wouldn't be mined right now. So the 100 and something extra minerals are coming from that, from these 3 patches, this one, and then this one as well. Yeah, I was gonna say the AI should have 21 probe then, not 20, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back mineral patches. So if you go from 16, you should go up to 21 to have 3 probes on those, and then 2 probes on the closer ones. And I guess the AI will stop. That actually makes sense. Holy fuck! This is so interesting. And again, another thing that I mentioned, if you lose the probes, it's not that big of a deal, right? He lost, what, 4 probes, but he's still mining really well. Now imagine if he was on 16 probes, he goes down to 12. That's a huge deal. Welcome to math. Oh my god. Okay. I'm not gonna address that. Anyway. Zare, thank you for the 2. Welcome back to the streams. We're discussing DeepMind. Like, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, they're gonna be like, herder, we knew that. You get more money with more probes. Yes, we did know that. I didn't think that the mining is limited at 16, and after making any more probes, you don't get shit. But again, when I say we, I mean StarCraft 2 community as a whole thought that making more than 16 is not worth, and it's better to expand faster or just stay on 16 and that's it. But again, if the AI is doing it every game, that means, you know? Okay. I'm actually gonna try this in my games. 21. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some games and I'm going to go up to 21 workers in each game. Well, no matter what race I play. And then I'm going to check, once I'm on 3 base, I'm going to check my income compared to my opponent. Because there will be some games, especially mirror matchups, when you're both doing the same thing, but I made, up to 21 workers, and you can clearly see if I went farther away in supply and economy or not. By having 21 probes, you have 1 free pylon every minute. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you look at it that way, I just find it, like, what I also find interesting is that I don't know who started this. Like, this probably started in Wings, right? But someone at one point said, there's no point to make more than 16 workers, and everyone took that as a rule, right? Like, everyone took that as, that's how StarCraft is, and that's how you don't do it. Because I personally never questioned it, right? Like, what? Because it made sense to me. Like, I understood what it means. You get to 16, that's your perfect mining. And then if you over probe a little bit, or over drone, or over SCV, you get some extra income, but it's not worth it. But maybe it is worth it. Okay, so now the AI just kind of pushes in and steamrolls MaNa, and that's pretty much it. I mean, very good kiting, very good, you know, target fire from the AI. I think MaNa, this game specifically, completely underestimated. This is the first game. MaNa completely underestimated AI, and I personally think that MaNa should have always won this game, like always, especially with 3 shield batteries. But I think he didn't expect the AI to run up the ramp. The AI had a really good target fire, and yeah, he just kind of cleans him up. Let's go with game number 2. Yeah, I mean, if MaNa, you know, obviously, like, thinks he's gonna run up the ramp, because, again, people don't do that. If he thought he's gonna run up the ramp, he would have pulled 6-7 probes, earlier sentry, force field to buy some time, Immortal comes out, and GG. But see, this is what I find interesting. This is what I find interesting. If you guys didn't know, the optimal, if you look at mineral mining, right? The optimal is 16. But also, on, I'm not sure if this is fixed, but on most of the maps, optimal mining is 2. So just like if you go to 21 probes, it would be same if you put 3rd probe on the gas, but people are always doing 3rd probe on the gas. Because if you look at the gas mining, if you have 3 probes on it, the 1 probe always waits a little bit. It never just runs in, you know, perfectly. It always waits a little bit. And the same thing happens with the mineral income. So I find it interesting how no one questioned and compared those two before. And was like, maybe because there's less probes on the gas, so people didn't see it as a that big of a deal to add another one to get the extra gas income. And obviously having an extra probe from 2 to 3 would give you much bigger gas income spike than it would if you had another probe on the extra mineral patch. 2 probes mine 80% from gas. Yeah, so it's not as insignificant, quote unquote, as the mineral having 3 probes on the farther away minerals, but it's still not, you know, not perfect. But yeah, I just find it interesting how no one questioned and compared that to the mineral patches. Okay, so AlphaStar this time. This again, one thing I want to remind everyone: this is not the same AlphaStar you just saw in the previous game. These are different AlphaStars, and this is something that developers have confirmed. So the previous AlphaStar was the one that loves going 4 gates or proxying. It's wrong to say no one questioned that. Well, excuse me, I apologize for not saying that properly in my second language. I hope I didn't offend anyone. Anyway, the point is, you know what I mean. Okay. Okay, so the AI this time... Let me go back. Okay, so this AI has only 15 on minerals, but it's already double mining from the gases. And the previous AI was going for 4 gates, so he was prioritizing minerals. This one prioritizes gas. So not every AI... Obviously, this depends on what strategy you go for. Not every strategy you go for is going to require the same amount of gas or minerals or whatever. So this one is probably going to open... I actually can't remember the second game. Or no, not all games were on stream. Only 3 games were on stream. So I think this is the game we haven't watched, right? Okay. Ooh, Stargate versus Stargate. Oh, this is the game we saw clips from. Okay. This is the game we saw clips from at one point, but we didn't see the actual game. Okay, so AlphaStar's adepts going. How's he gonna deal with the extra adepts? This is something I mentioned earlier. At one point I thought it may be over-probing because it expects he's gonna lose probes, but I think it has to do specifically with the income, and losing probes and still having optimal mining is just a kind of the side effect of, or I guess the benefit of over-probing. So let's see. Shades in. Okay. Meanwhile, yeah, so eventually we've seen one of the AIs wall off on the ramp, but I don't think he'd used any well, MaNa didn't go for adepts that game, so we didn't see if it would actually wall off the adepts off. But let's see what happens. So MaNa is canceling, doesn't want the adepts to go in. Does the AI know? Okay, it doesn't know about Stargate. The AI is getting an Oracle? Okay. I'll just call it AI. I don't want to call it AlphaStar every time. It's funny, they go same path. And they both followed up with Phoenix. But, see, this is interesting. Because MaNa ran in, right, with the double adepts, and how many probes did he kill? He killed 5 probes. But, if we look at a worker count, right, it's 25 versus 26. The income is a little bit better for MaNa, and this is when this is where MaNa has 19 workers now. Now, the interesting part is, because MaNa did kill those 5 workers, AlphaStar still has good enough income to make a Nexus that quick, but because AlphaStar didn't lose the adepts, MaNa can't expand because I think, yeah, he still doesn't know what he's facing. So this is one interesting thing that I think also a lot of players haven't thought about. Like, yes, the adepts kill probes, but then you lose the potential to scout. And these adepts, even though they're just 2 adepts, MaNa doesn't know this, right? He doesn't know if this is a 4-gate or this is a proxy or whatever. So he has to be more careful. And because of that, even after losing 5 probes, AlphaStar now has a faster Nexus. And MaNa is still kind of playing in the dark. And he's even making a shield battery here. The AI did not make a shield battery, which I find a little bit interesting. Because I'm assuming that the AI makes shield batteries and cannons based on what it sees from the opponent, and he didn't see anything from MaNa. So I'm not sure why the AI is not adding Robo or shield battery, like Robo for DTs or shield battery. It's just expanding. Like, I feel like if MaNa went for 4-gate here, the AI is just dead. Like, how does he hold? So don't get me wrong, this AI is obviously extremely good, but I think there's a lot of ways to abuse the AI. Like, the AI right now might be thinking, well, he's on one base, he's playing defensive, so I'm going to expand, and that's it. But if MaNa faked it, right, if he had a probe here, he could have 4-gated and the AI is just dead. Like, he does not hold this with 2 stalkers, I can tell you that. And this is what we've seen in the MaNa versus AlphaStar rematch, where stop thinking why this or why that, the AI have no logic. Oh god. Anyway. Okay, so MaNa gets what? 3 probes, and the AI gets, ooh, whoa. Okay, so he gets in with the adepts. And then the Oracle comes in as well, and now the shield battery can heal both sides. MaNa's derping a little bit with the Phoenix, kill the Oracle. Ooh, that's actually interesting. The AI misclicked. He was attacking the Stalker there with the Oracle. Noob. What a noob, lol. But still, after all of that, the AI is 4 probes ahead. And has a faster Nexus. But you see, he was attacking the Stalker the whole time. Oh, not the whole time, but like for a good amount of time, I was attacking the Stalker. This is so interesting to me. This is so fascinating. I love it. Like, I actually want the AI to improve more because stuff like this, it has 15 probes, right? Why doesn't it have 16th probe here? Is it because the mineral field is mining out? Is it because the AI is simply messing up? Or is it because it's going to gain more income if it sends it to the natural? It would make sense if he has like 600 probes, 8 maybe, and then sends the rally point back to here. No? Okay, now this is the part, this is a clip that we saw on stream. Again, I didn't show this game. So this is the part we saw on stream. Look at this micro, ready? You ready? Look at this micro. So the AI has 3 stalkers and what's that? A zealot against 5 stalkers and wait, 2 phoenix. Okay, 8 stalkers, 3 stalkers, and then AlphaStar has 4 phoenix, 2 phoenix versus MaNa. So MaNa has a better army, right? Because 8 stalkers is a pretty good number. So check this shit. Get your pogs ready in the chat. Look at this. It even starts bad for AlphaStar, right? His stalker gets chunked to no shields. Look at this. Lifts the 2 stalkers, cancels. Look at that focus fire. Micros the stalker, the phoenix back. Micros the second phoenix back. Focus fires this phoenix. He lost 1 zealot there. The AI lost 1 zealot. MaNa lost phoenix. And how many was that? Was that phoenix and 2 stalkers? And then chases him down even. Kills another stalker. And look at the probe count meanwhile. Over probing, I'm telling you. This is the future of gaming, boys. Still no detection from the AI. And again, this is one of those things, like, maybe the AI has it like mapped out. If it sees Stargate, how long until the DT can show up or something like that. Because I'm also really curious why MaNa never try to go DT strats. Like, if I was playing against an AI, right? I don't go like, oh, I'm gonna fast expand and I'm gonna make a normal army. No, I'd cannon rush that fucker. I would proxy gate that fucker. I would proxy Robo. I would proxy Tempest. I would DT rush him. I would bunker rush him. I would penis rush him in ZVZ. You know what I mean? Like, I would do the dumbest cheeses to confuse the AI, because that's how you beat the AI. You confuse it. You don't beat it by out microing. It's obviously gonna micro better than you. So that's what I'm kind of like. Why no DT rush any game? Why no cannon rush? So now this is something we've seen from the AI quite a bit. It keeps making Phoenix, and it goes for like really weird like Phoenix Stalker kind of fights. And another cool thing they showed on stream is when AI plays a game, it has like a little I don't know what you call it, like a graph, whatever, and it goes from 0 to 100, like a meter, right? And the one side is win, the middle side is tie, and then the right side is loss. So as the game goes, with each decision that the AI made, which each unit it loses, it kills, the numbers go from 0 to 20% win for the AI. And the longer the fight goes and the more the AI is winning, the number eventually goes to 100%, as in AI's experienced that before and it never lost from that point on. Yeah, estimation of probability, yeah. Which I found really sick. Like, I thought that was really, really, really cool. And I would love to see matches versus pro gamers while that thing exists throughout the whole game to see how the AI thinks, based on its own experience, how and when it thinks it won the game. Like, for example, let's say the AI played a PvZ, right? And it kills 6 drones with an Oracle. What does the AI think the probability of winning from that point on are, right? Because we don't know. Like, as humans, when you play a PvZ and you kill 6 drones, you're like, okay, that's pretty cool damage, right? But you don't know, like, am I gonna win 90%? No, you're like, oh, I did good damage, right? So I would love to see that in an actual Games vs. Pro Gamers shown the whole time, to see how it changes depending on what decision it makes. I would love that. Because they actually said, because this game was shown from the only specific parts, and this is the part that I remember they showed that, and the AI had like 80 out of 100 to win, like probability of winning from that point on. And if you look at MaNa's army, right, if you are playing the game, people would not be like, oh yeah, this is a win, I'm just gonna push across the map. It's like, well, he has a shield batteries, a lot of stalkers, I don't know if he has blink or so on, but the AI was pretty confident he's gonna win, and he just went for the kill, which I found to be really cool. And if you look again, like, it's not looking great for MaNa, right? But the AI just kind of ruffle stomps. Look at this. Like, he literally just goes for it. He was waiting, and now he just goes for it. Robo now up or going up. Because he doesn't have detection, he starts up an Oracle. And the strategy that the AI went for was just 3-8 pure Zealot production and kept making Phoenix. Now, the question in this game, I don't think this is a strategy that this AI always goes for, because they said also when the AI thinks he can win, the AI goes across the map. Like, when the AI feels he did enough damage, he goes across the map and finishes the game. The question in this game is, where did the AI feel or think, based on its experience, that the game was won, right? Because he doesn't start mining gas here. He doesn't make more tech. He just makes another gate, and he goes from here. He starts chrono boosting Stargate. He dumps all the chrono boost into the Stargate, and he just makes Zealots. And I think it was this fight that they had here, where the AI traded really well, that he just decided, okay, I can go from here and just win the game. Because you can see, like, this is not a poke. He just keeps warping Zealots. He's not transitioning to anything. And you guys know that if this was a pro PvP, no Protoss player would do this. Like, no Protoss player would ever do this. You would see them get a third, they would get charge, they would get, you know, Robo, they would get Immortals. But the AI goes with, you know, what looks to be really stupid unit comp. He's literally just warping Zealots and has Phoenix with no charge, no weapon upgrades, nothing. And just wins the game. I think that's fucking cool.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
And again, like, someone might be, well, that was a stupid decision. Why risk it? But you have to remember, these AIs have hundreds of years of experience. Like, they didn't play 20 games. They have played a lot of games. And based on the win percentage, this is probably something that had extremely high win percentage, which is why the AI went for it. I mean, like, I hope that, I mean, I doubt that the DeepMind guys obviously, like, even know about my stream or my YouTube, but I would have loved for them to see, like, not just mine, but every pro player's point of view, like, whoever else is making these kinds of videos, for them to watch it, so they can get maybe more ideas and just get basically different free analysis from me or from anyone else. And also, if you guys are watching, I would love to play against DeepMind, me random. I want to crush it like a bug. There's an AMA. Dude, I don't want an AMA. I want to play against an AI and destroy it with cheeses.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Big Brother is watching us.
Guys, we need to promote this, okay? We know that AlphaStar can beat a Protoss player, but can it defeat a #1 random player in the world? I mean, just saying. Just saying. Okay. I don't think he knows how to beat any other race. No, I know, but eventually. Eventually it will learn to play against other races, and that's where I want to jump in. How is Cyril's random best? I can beat Cyril off races easily.
Show match at Beast-Hiked Random versus AlphaStar Random.
See, if Cyril and I played 15 games in each matchup, he would stomp me with Zerg, but I'm pretty sure I would stomp his other 2 races with all my races. Okay, maybe not with my Zerg, but I would beat him with my Protoss and Terran. Anyway. So this time, this version of AlphaStar, they call it Agent. Don't think you can beat Cyril Terran? Dude, Cyril played a tournament, the Finnish tournament, and he dropped the map against the 6k Zerg, or 2 maps against the 6k Zerg. When was the last time you've seen me drop a map against the 6k Zerg with my Terran? Never happened. Literally 100% winner. Anyway, let's get back to this. You know, I'm not going to argue with people what they think and what I think. If you think Cyril's going to beat me with his off races against my main races, more power to you. Anyway, so this version of AlphaStar is walling off. And only going for 2 or 5 on gas total. So yeah, this is the one that expanded. Cyril recently won a tournament with Terran. Dude, the highest rated player in that tournament was 6k, and everyone else was like Master 1. What do you mean? What do you mean? Jesus Christ. Anyway. Okay, so he goes for a fast expand. Oh, I remember this game. This was a brutal game. And this is the example of micro from the AI. Okay? So check what happened. So AlphaStar is expanding behind this and going into Stargate, which I find very interesting because very, very, very rarely do you see fast expanding to Stargate in PvP. The reason for that is if your opponent opens Stargate into expand, he just has an advantage, right? So because he's going to have a faster Phoenix production. So if you go for an Oracle and he has Phoenix already, you're dead. If you start making Phoenix and he made Phoenix, then you're dead because he has more Phoenix. So expanding into Stargate is not that common in PvP. So most of the time what you do see is PvP is Robo Follow-Up or Twilight, but maybe that's why AlphaStar is doing Stargate. Because he still hasn't confirmed the expansion, so he doesn't know that this is one base. So this is a decision from the AI that I found to be a little interesting. Anyway, so he pushes here with Stalkers, does some little cute micro. Good micro. And again, MaNa, which I feel like this was MaNa's biggest downfall. #1, not going anything cheesy, like DTs or cannon rushes or whatever. But #2, what MaNa did wrong in my opinion, and obviously before people are like, Do you know MaNa is way better player than you? Yes, I understand that. Thank you for explaining that one to me. One thing that MaNa did bad in this series is lack of scouting. Like, this sentry, for example, has 100 energy. And MaNa makes the wrong decision here, which is, oh shit, I have no idea what he's doing. He's attacking me, which, when you're a human player, you're usually one basing at least, or opening one base, or heavy aggression. But the AI is expanding behind this. So what MaNa does is he puts a shield battery and he plays very defensive. And it is correct play, you know, in a sense that if he goes down the ramp and AlphaStar is forgating, MaNa just dies, right? But if he knew that the AI is expanding, MaNa would have played much more bold in order to defend this. But as it is, he's just kind of like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. And you can see it here, he lets the pylon go. Loses a stalker. Kind of goes out here, but I don't know about that move. The AI just kind of out-microing him there. Loses 2 stalkers, loses a pylon, and now he's supply blocked. Well, not supply blocked, I guess, because he doesn't need supply for anything. But now the AI kind of just shooting at the Nexus. And he's literally getting ahead by opening exactly the same, like MaNa is. Again, good micro from the AI. Good micro from MaNa as well, considering he has 3 stalkers. Oh yeah, the AI loses a bunch of stalkers here. Overextending. Gets wrecked a little bit. And now if you look at probe count, the AI does something very interesting. So again, this is the AI number 3, I think. So this one grabs double gas instantly, but look, this is the same thing I was talking about earlier. He only puts 2 probes on gas for now, because if you put 3, it's not as efficient. And I'm guessing that he doesn't need that much gas. He kind of still needs minerals. And this is the AI, I think, that went for double Stargate play. So he's still being very, very aggressive. And again, this is not something you're going to see in normal PvPs. Humans will, I like how I say humans, but you know, it's true. Humans will usually like go back here. They're not going to be as aggressive, especially not after seeing 4 sentries into Immortals, because one mistake and these stalkers will get deleted and you're going to lose the game. But the AI keeps dancing around, keeps, you know, jumping back and forth. And yeah. So now the AI goes back, finally. He scouts the pylon as well, which is very good for him. And now this is where MaNa started pushing. Yeah, this is the game. So he starts the second Stargate. And I think, for me, this was probably the most interesting game that I've seen as far as new strategies and kind of developing new styles go. So the AI decides to, first things first, picks this spot to fight, which is obviously very, very good. Doesn't just take shit fights, waits to get the higher ground vision or advantage. Tries to pick off the War Prism. Look at that sick micro. Look, all the Phoenix, no shields. Well, except this one. But all just barely taking some health damage. The AI trying to find where MaNa's army is. Keeps track of it, which I thought was very cool as well. Gets supply blocked. Noob. This noob, dude. Jesus Christ. Plays StarCraft for 200 years. Gets supply blocked at 60 supply. Jesus Christ. Come on, dude. Anyway. So MaNa doesn't really know where to attack from. These Phoenix keep flying over. And like, again, if you look at this army, right? Come on, be honest with me, guys. Okay, don't give me that shit, okay? If you see this army, you're like, I mean, 6 Phoenix is not that many. This is pure Stalkers. This is double Immortal. It's a lot of sentries here. Some Stalkers, a Prism. I don't know, it's gonna be tough for our blue boy. But check this shit, dude. Check this micro. Look at that, like the one force field, right? The one, just to prevent mana going up there, and then engages the mana in the most open space. Like mana is literally, you can't be more open than right here, right? Because if mana went here, then the AI has to attack into, he can get force filled it off, and then that's GG, right? Because he can just, mana can just kill all the probes or the nexus. But because of this one force field, mana cannot go inside, and he has to like either go here and basically get stuck, or he has to fight right now. So the AI does the smart thing. He starts picking off sentries first, because sentries are light units. Phoenixes deal bonus damage against light, and he's picking up the sentries with high energy as well. You can see he's not picking up these two that have no energy. He's picking this one that has 111. So the force fields from mana, okay, not great. He takes 3 stalkers, I think here. 2 and 1 already died, but these ones are fine. And basically pulls some probes as well. And even though mana kills some workers here, I'm gonna unpause. He snipes the prism right here. He picks up the immortals so they don't do damage. And basically your army is sentries with no energy and stalkers. So again, this is based on experience. The AI realizes I can pull probes, because even if I lose probes, it doesn't matter, because I have the more value kind of units as for Phoenix. So even if he loses some probes, he realizes if he goes across the map, he can just pick up a bunch of probes and kill them, as long as he doesn't die right at that point. So now this right here, let me go back. This is what I was talking about game 4, but we see it here as well. So this is effective APM that's being shown right now. 460 effective APM. $569. That's not human-like. So this is where the people from DeepMind are wrong. So they kept saying that the AI has the same average or similar APM to human. They said they limited it to 200 to 300 APM. But they limited it to 200, 300 average APM, which literally has nothing to do with anything. Why? Because the AI has very low effective APM pre-fights and after fights, because it doesn't spam, it just clicks what needs to be done. So if you look right here, you would see, oh, but MaNa is playing twice as fast. But that's not true. He's clicking twice as fast, but he's not playing the game twice as fast. Those are two very different things. So let me explain what effective APM is. So APM is any click, right? So if I click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is 5 actions per minute, right? So if I have 400, that means I am clicking 400 actions a minute. That doesn't mean they're good. That just means I'm clicking 400 actions a minute. Now, what effective APM is, those are the good clicks. So, for example, I take this immortal, I move it here. That is 1 APM and 1 effective APM. If I take this immortal and click 5 times on the same spot, that's 5 APM, but that's still 1 effective APM, because you didn't do anything else. You just clicked it right there. You just clicked 5 times. So this is the problem with AlphaStar. Its APM average is human-like, but its effective APM, this is not human-like. 569 effective APM is insane. You know what that equals to right now? 569 clicks that all make sense, right? No double clicks, all perfect clicks being done. Look at that fight, 650, 700. And if you look right here, there's your human player, right? There's your human player. There's your AI player. And again, MaNa has higher effective APM. That's because the AI is not clicking as much in general, because his APM is literally halved. So you can see how much APM MaNa is wasting. He has 400 APM, but effective APM is 193. AI has 216 APM and 172 effective. But in fights, the effective APM of the AI skyrockets. Like, it's just not correct. Like, this is not human-like behavior. I mean, look, he's literally doing 2-3 times more things at the same time as MaNa. Literally 2-3 times. And I want to say, MaNa has been one of the best Protoss players from the beginning of StarCraft 2. We actually discussed this recently in my stream. I think MaNa is in top 5 foreign Protosses of all time. Because he's been very good for many, many years. He's gone far in tournaments. And MaNa is a player, from my own personal experience of playing against him for years, especially earlier in StarCraft, one thing that he's very good in is the engagements, the fights, the micro battles, especially this early in the game. So if MaNa has 200-300 effective APM and the AI has 600 plus, you know, something's wrong there. Let's look at effective APM as well, or EPM. Again, this is not a big difference, but now again it goes into 500s. Okay, we just saw MaNa peak at 350 right there. And the AI peaked at, what was it, 700? See, we have someone that says, MaNa not the fastest player though. He has 400 APM. What do you mean not the fast? Show me a Protoss that has more APM than MaNa. It's 400 average. I actually don't think they're... no, Showtime has lower. I think Showtime is like 300, 350. The point is, you're comparing a Protoss foreign player, top, with an AI. You're not comparing effective APM to a Zerg, you're comparing it to Protoss. So yeah, the AI just pushes in and wins the game. Now, this, what I just talked about, becomes very, 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 very apparent in the next game, which is what I mentioned in my previous discussion about DeepMind prior to analyzing the games, where the AI peaks at an insane amount. And we're gonna see that right here. But again, I don't want to, like, I don't mean to like bash on DeepMind. It's very hard to put a number and limit the AI, right? Like, you know, who do you compare it to? Do you limit it to a top pro gamer? Do you limit it to you know, somewhere in the middle kind of pro gamer skill wise? So, yeah. Anyway, this game was the game where I was like, well, previous games you could have said that it was kind of very human versus human-like, but when I saw this game, I was like, come on, bruh. This was obviously an AI that's fucking programmed to micro like a maniac. Why do you limit it at all? Because what's the point of it? I mean, that's like having a boxing match of a robot and a human that are both 80 kilograms each, right? And then you're like, well, why limit it? Why don't you just make a 1-ton robot fight against an 80 kilogram human? Well, because he's going to just do this and he's going to stomp it. So there's no much point. Same thing in StarCraft. If the AI has 1,000 effective APM, it's obviously not going to, you know, struggle versus any human, because it's literally going to kill you with fucking SCVs. It's literally going to rush you with SCVs and kill you. So there's the same reason why there are limits in you know, MMA Like, why isn't there a guy with 120 kilos versus a guy that is 60 kilos? Because he's probably gonna like slap him and his head is gonna fall off. Same thing here. Same thing applies. Like, one thing that's true, AI is an AI. You cannot make a human-like AI. Not now, at least. Because it's extremely hard to draw a line. Where's the human-like AI? So I've seen some people mention in the chat, which is what they said as well, that the AI has a, what was it? It had a delay of 350 milliseconds, right? But see, earlier, when they were fighting here with Phoenix, you saw the AI pull the Phoenix back just at the right time. So, no human player would, first of all, play under 350 ms delayed, right? But second thing, that would mean that the AI, the moment the projectile was flying towards a unit, because 350 ms, it moved the unit back in order to move it in time. That's not very human-like, isn't it? So, I think creating an AI like this is obviously extremely impressive, but creating a human-like AI is extremely difficult because there will always be an issue with it, right? Where's the limit? Like, you know, if you limit the APM to 200, of effective APM to 200, but then he plays against Cyril that has like 350, but that's not fair for the AI. But most humans have 200 or 250, you know? So as far as the reaction time, are they gonna program it so that the AI sometimes doesn't see something? Because that's what humans do all the time, right? Sometimes you see an oracle flying across the map on the mini-map, but you don't actually see it. So are they gonna make the AI sometimes just ignore the mini-map? No, but if it sees everything, that's not human again. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of problems going into it. I think the AI should be AI, right? I don't think people should be like, oh, we want to make it exactly like human. Because that's stupid. We have humans already. We don't need you to make another human. Just make an AI. Don't make it have 10,000 APM. Just keep it as an AI, and that's fine. Also, like, imagine if the AI is a Terran player. You can never do anything with observers because the AI is always instantly going to see an observer, right? But then if you go the other side and make it stupid, then it's never going to see an observer. And then there's the middle where you make it so it sometimes sees an observer, which doesn't make sense either. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking, but I would prefer if they just had an AI and kept it as an AI and that's it. Limit its APM, effective APM, so it's not, you know, obnoxious with like having 3-4 times more than humans. Just leave it at that. Make it as best as you can with like its limited actions. Anyway, I'm rambling. So this game, MaNa goes for an Oracle. I don't think we've seen this game, right? I think we've seen game number 5. This is game number... Oh, this is... No, this is game number 4, right? This is... Oh, yeah, we saw this one. This is the Blinkstalker game. So again, the AI overprobed. So even... Okay. Oopsie doopsie. So AI, even though... fudge. Even though it overprobed and lost some probes... Look at that. Lost 5 probes. Still ahead in probes. Genius. Dude, I should play like this AI, because I always lose my workers. This is... I'm gonna become like top 10 player after I finish analyzing these games. I'm always gonna be ahead on probes. Can't be behind on probes if you overmake them. Alright, so what do we see? Oh yeah, this was the Blink game. So the AI here, and one thing I want you guys to remember, pay attention to what I'm going to say now. So this is something that AI did this game that's very interesting, and I was a little bit kind of like, why so many though? So what he did is he made a lot of stalkers. A lot of stalkers to defend his probes, right? Yes, he's going Blink, but he made a lot of probes. And this is what I found really interesting. So what happens next game, spoilers, is the AI goes for Oracle, but he keeps making them. Because MaNa only had 2-3 stalkers per mineral line, the AI just kept making Oracles and kept suiciding them in probes. Or not in the 5th game, sorry, in the rematch, I think. In the rematch that they played live. So maybe when the AI was practicing, what happened was the opponent would keep running the Oracles, and that's why it makes this many stalkers to prevent that. Obviously, this game, the AI went for, for Blink, just massing. It's something to think about. Don't call it he. I'll call it whatever I want. Did you just assume it's a woman AI? Okay. So the AI goes for this Blink. How many gates does he have? 6 gates. And he goes for +1 weapons, and he makes a 4 cannon here. And now it's just gonna, I think, chrono boost the +1 weapons, and basically it's gonna 6 gate. Okay. Now, this was the interesting part. So I remember watching this game like it was 2 hours ago, which it was. I remember watching this game and I was like, wow, MaNa, like, he's losing 3-0 at this point, right? And I'm like, this is the, I mean, it's looking good, right? Every human game we've had, MaNa wins, right? He has a disruptor, and these are pre-patch disruptors. When this disruptor touches you, you explode. Not like the ones we have now, because this is played on BlizzCon patch. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, double robo, right? Has plus weapons, is defensive, has some sentries, has stasis traps, has a shield battery, and the AI has stalkers. Like, this is very good for MaNa, right? MaNa should win. So this micro right here, I mean, it has 550 for effective APM, but it's not like the weirdest thing, right? It's just microing one army here. So he goes for the snipes, he does the blinks well. I mean, yeah, loses a stalker or two. Not perfect micro, but pretty good blink micro, right? So snipe off zealots, and I was like, okay, it's getting some damage done. Killed a disruptor, killed an immortal, and then these bad boys show up, and I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, oh, well, if he just killed an immortal and disruptor with half of his army, and now he has full army, I don't know, man. This is gonna be rough. So the AI obviously goes in again, loses 3 stalkers. Yeah, 3 stalkers, and I think he killed like 2 zealots and a stalker there. So I think no immortals were picked up. And I'm like, okay, well, this is where you you go home at this point, right? You don't keep pushing, because you killed okay. You killed sentries, you killed zealots, you're expanding behind it, and again, this is a game where human versus human, the AI looks at this and says, or the human looks at this and says, well, I did some good damage, I'm getting a third behind this, I'm just gonna sit here, not necessarily go back, but I'm just gonna stop warping stalkers, I'm gonna transition maybe to High Templars, Zealot Charge, make a concave here, and when Protoss tries to move out, in this case MaNa, I'm going to snipe some units, run away, snipe some units, run away, and then because I have third base, I'm going to just overwhelm him when he gets to my base. That's what humans do, right? That's what we learned in StarCraft, and that's what everyone does. But the AI keeps warping in Stalkers and keeps going for it. He does not stop. And yes, for everyone that's offended, I did assume that the AlphaStar is a male. If you're deeply offended, please send me an email and I will send you a coupon for I don't care. Anyway, so picks up some Stalkers, picks up a Zealot. Again, loses some Stalker, not perfect micro. You know, Immortals do a lot of damage. So overall, just doing some trades, right? Here, again, loses a couple of Stalkers, but picks up an Immortal. So I'm like, okay, not bad. But, you know, if I was watching someone and I'm coaching them, I'm like, dude, I know your micro is good. I know you're doing the blinks and all that shenanigans, but this is the point where you should go back, right? You did damage. You're ahead. Just go back. Like, this is how you lose games. And the AI is like, nah, I'm gonna keep pushing, actually. Okay. Do what you want. The AI does not see the DTs, but the Robo is going up. Again, he's trying to work on the Immortal. Boop. Boops the Immortal. Very nice. And yeah, it just warps in a couple of more Stalkers. You know, getting charged, getting on Observer. You know, all the good stuff. So nothing really suspicious yet, right? Again, normal game. At this point, I was like, okay, well, it's a little bit crazy because he's still warping Stalkers, still trying. You know, picks up, I think, another... Oof. Oh yeah, this was really bad for the AI. Yeah, he lost a fudge ton of stuff here and didn't kill anything. I must have blinked on this part. I don't remember that. Wow, that was a terrible fucking blink. Okay. Well, that went from, like, terrible to Jesus. That was terrible. Anyway. That's some cutie micro right there. That's how I micro my Stalkers, by the way. Right there. So I'm basically AlphaStar in this situation. But you know what happens? You know when you're a kid and you're playing a game of Warcraft 2, or maybe Warcraft 3, or maybe StarCraft Brood War, and you start losing, you know, the noob AI is beating your ass, and you're like mad, and you start smashing keyboard, and then you start typing black sheep wall, show me the money, who's your daddy, and then the AI taps out 1 minute later. That's what happened right here as well. The AI is like, oh, you killed my Stalkers. I'm gonna turn on my 1,500 APM hack. And that's exactly what happens. Human-like, by the way. So check this out. Check this out. So you look at this game, right? And you're like, 23 Stalkers versus 6 Immortals. 2 Archons, Zealots. These Zealots have charge? No, don't have charge. He just started. But you look at this, you're like, this is a beefy boy army, right? Not bad. TI's like, oh. Oh, no. Check this. Human-like. If you ever see a human do this, please let me know and give me the replay. I will give you my house for that replay. Because this will never happen. So check what happens. There's Stalkers here, right? There's Stalker here. And there's going to be more Stalkers joining from every side. In these Stalkers. So check this now. Look at this. Look at this. Microing all 3 sides at the same time. Look at this. Attacks the rocks a little. Check this out. Check this out, dude. This is like Archon. All the agents have joined in this one. Look at this. Pulling back perfectly. Pulling back perfectly. Pulling back. Pulling back. Look at this. Look at that. Pops it. Look at it. Pops an Archon. Oh no, almost kills it. MaNa picks it up. Check it. Gets some Zealots, right? Gets a couple of Zealots. Loses a Stalker. Not bad. But it's not over. Now he typed, who's your daddy again? And Black Sheep Wall. And show me the money. One more time. So this is where he's like, okay, you know, cracks his neck. He's like, okay, let me play for real now against this potato. So check this out. Micros these two, right? Blinks these two perfectly. These two are moving at the same time. 700 effective APM, by the way. Human, right? Micros these perfectly. Oh, I just want to say, spending money perfectly. The whole time. He's also warping in units, if you haven't noticed. Because, you know. Check this out. Snipes this, right? Boom. Micros these and these at the same time. Yeah, make some mistakes, for sure. Okay, he's like, you know what? I'm microing on two sides. Let me join with a third one as well. Micros there as well. MaNa, being the poor human he is, can't micro on three sides. So you see some units running around. Only 300 effective APM. Trash, right? So he starts losing units there. Bleeding zealots on this side. The immortals are like, oh shit, where do we go? MaNa, tell us where to go. And MaNa's like, oh, I don't know. Let's go somewhere. Go back. And he goes back. He's like, oh, there's units there. And he's like, okay, go forward. It's like, oh, there's units there too. How does he do it? And then AI pushes in. From one side? Three sides is what he does. Now, let's go back a little bit. This is effective APM that peaked, someone said, at 1,000. Now let's look at APM. Let's check this, I'm curious. I want to say that these 850 APM is not, it's not spamming. He's moving 3 armies at the same time. Speed it up a little bit till the fight picks up. So, for the past 2-3 minutes, the AI has had 800 plus APM, but his whole game, he has had 160, 170 average because he wasn't doing anything. So then at the end of the game, the AI has only 300. But that's not how you calculate this. Whoa. Wait. What did it... Was that 1,500? Let's check that again. Sorry, I didn't... I thought I saw 1,500. I must be crazy. Haven't seen... okay. Okay. I can't tell. I'm looking at these players. I can't tell which one is the human and which one is the AI. Huh. And that is replay number 4. You can see circles like Raynor and Cyril have over 1,000 APM, but most of it is spam. True. But this one peaked at, someone said, 1.2 effective APM. Which is, to put it in perspective, 1.2k effective APM is 3 Cyrils, or maybe even 4 Cyrils, depending what part in the game. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. I love what the guys from DeepMind are doing. I think this is the coolest thing we've seen in StarCraft in a while. I've said in my previous video on my YouTube channel, I did not expect the AI will be this good. I love it. I can't wait for it to get even better. But they either need to cut the human-like, or they either need to actually make, if they want to make it human-like, they have to make it human-like, right? I don't think it's fair towards StarCraft or the StarCraft 2 pro players to say, oh yeah, it's very human-like, it just peaks at like 4 times the speed you guys are doing in the fights, which is where it's the most important, right? Because the AI is, you know, either a little bit ahead or equal in the early macro stages, but then in the fights it just dominates. And that's because of the extra actions. So again, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not bashing these guys. I love DeepMind. I love what they're doing. But you gotta pick one or the other. It cannot go both. And like I said, I can't wait to see them do more. Like, I would be honored to play against an AI. Me playing random and playing against an, you know, Protoss or whatever AI that can play against alternate races. I would love to test like its limits and possibilities of what I can do to it and what the AI can do, how it's going to react. But something's got to be set straight. Now, this is the game that did not show, and that MaNa mentioned that the AI was doing some really weird stuff. So I'm guessing this is Has, basically, of the Agent Has is right here. Or maybe Agent Florencia. I don't know which one. So, I think MaNa mentioned that the AI started building pylons in his base. Ooh, look at this fucking cheeky. Oh my god, look at it. What a cheeky little schmuck, dude. Oh. I started. Yeah, this is a pylon. Look, MaNa is so confused. MaNa try to see if there's cannons here. Okay, he's making a Zella. Yeah, MaNa touched upon this game. He discussed it a little bit. He said he was very confused because he said he saw the pylon and then he saw the buildings on the low ground, which is something you don't do in PvP at all. And then I think he mentioned that the AI did proxy robo meanwhile. Made a Zealot. What is he gonna do with the Zealot? Fuck, he hides it. Chronos is Stalker. Okay. This is literally. Why is he making shield batteries here? Maybe just safety? He's not even getting warp kit. He's just making stalkers and robo and shield batteries. I love this. Yeah, this is just defensive. I love it. This is my kind of it. Someone said this is Agent Beast. It might be as well. I've definitely picked up a little cheese here and there over the past couple of months. Is it literally gonna go? He's just gonna make stalkers, right? And he's just gonna chrono boost immortals. Yeah. Like, no fucks given, dude. Kill the pylon! Kill the pylon! What are you doing? No, this pylon! Kill the pylon! Dude. He's making a Stargate? You know what I love? That the fact that if MaNa puts a unit here, he can shoot at this target. I think that's enough for Stalker to shoot at it. Like, he's making, like, this AI is literally like, this AI, if you tell it to, like, play a normal game, he's probably gonna, like, fucking put a Nexus, like, right here. This AI is so broken. He doesn't even know where to put his buildings. Like, literally doesn't know where to put his buildings. He's putting a pylon, like, in the shooting range of the ramp. He just doesn't care. He's like, You know what? I killed how many probes? I killed 6 probes. It's time to transition to Stargate. Oh, he even gets it. Yeah, this AI is like complete fucking potato. This AI is completely. This gets force fielded. He's like War Prism? Hell no, dude. I'm just gonna make immortals and keep rallying them up the ramp. Wait, MaNa sees the star. Can you imagine? You're MaNa, right? You're losing 4-0 against an AI. And then the 5th AI, because the developers pick, right? They picked which AI they're gonna send against him. And then the 5th game, they're like, let's send him Agent Bob. And they're like, that's a good idea. And it's like, Agent Troll activated, Bob. And this guy shows up with no warp gate, nothing in his, it doesn't even have a pylon in his main base. Like, this is one of those guys, if you send an Oracle or an Adept, he just dies. But he's like, you know what, I'm kind of hoping that the opponent doesn't do that, so I'll just play like this. Look at that. Look at fucking Troll, dude. Agent Troll going for it. Look at that. And this is what, if this guy was a player, if this guy was a player, you ask you, why do you build a shield battery here? And he shows you a replay, he's like, here's why. Even though it was completely fucking coincidence. Look. He makes a feel. Imagine losing to this. It's a computer that did this to you. The best part about this, he made 1 Phoenix. Like, he literally didn't even need a Stargate. What did his Phoenix do? He didn't do anything. He pulled 2 probes. Look, he's not even mining fucking fully on the main base. Like 2 on each gas. He's making a voider. He can't even make an immortal now because he has no money. Pulls 2 probes. Stops the prism. But why wouldn't he go for void ray? He had the money for it. There's the voider as well. I loved everything about that game. That was my favorite game. They should have been casted at the event. Yes, it should have. They should have casted this. Why didn't they pick this? This was an amazing game to show. Like, imagine, right? Imagine you're MaNa, right? You're going into this game. You're like, you take the water. You're like, okay, I'm going to practice. I'm playing an AI in a week. Okay, I'm going to practice. He's like, hey, showtime. Hey, Petit Drogo. Hey, you know, this guy, that guy. Can we get some custom games? They're like, yeah, sure. They're like practicing. They're like fucking expanding. They're doing charge lots. They're doing immortals. You know, they're doing archons. And then MaNa down 4-0. He's like, this is everything I worked towards for 20 years of playing StarCraft. This is my moment. I'm going to take it for humanity. I'm going to wall off with these 2 gateways. I'm going to do what I know. I'm going to scout. I'm going to do everything I know. And then there's a pylon here, and MaNa's like, okay, you're trying to throw me off. It's not going to work. Scouts this. He's like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And then sees this in front of his base. And he's just like, that's beautiful. You know what I want to see? I want to see games from this specific agent troll. Of all the games he failed. Actually, not all the games he failed. I want to see all the games from the agent troll. Because can you imagine some of the ridiculous games that this AI had? Can you imagine, like, the dumb shit that happened? Like, I guarantee some of the games he proxied a Stargate, then made a Nexus here, then made a fleet beacon and went, like, Tempest, and then pulled the probes to, like, expand here. Like, there were, like, those kinds of games for sure. That was my favorite. Agent Troll, dude. That was the best one, yeah. I wish they showed that on the mainstream. That would have been juicy. You know what they should do? That pylon must have high win rate if it spent that much money on it. That's true. I wonder what the pylon is for. You know what maybe it could have been for? Maybe when the AI played against AIs, they were pulling probes to kill the pylon because they thought it's a cannon rush. That's the only thing I can think of. You know what Blizzard should do? Blizzard, I know you're not watching this, but one can hope. Please take Agent Troll and another 9 agents, which I will be glad to name if you give me the opportunity. Let them play the ladder in StarCraft 2 and give us spectator mode so we can observe them while they play the ladder games. Can you imagine that? Guys, I wouldn't even need to play StarCraft anymore, right? I would just log on and be like, hey guys, today we're gonna watch Agent Troll on the ladder, and I go like, I don't know, versus custom collection replays observe, you click observe, you find Agent Troll, and you watch it, and you see shit like that all day, and I just commentate over it. Dude, that'd be such a... That'd be so good. I wish that's possible. But I actually think that's against Blizzard's terms of service. You can't run bots, AI on the ladder, I think. I don't need Agent Troll or watch your stream. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and make sure to check out one of my previous videos. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a very nice day, and I'll see you guys next time.